Welcome to the Cole and Dre Podcast. I'm Cole.
And this is Dre. We back in the building one more again, man, in the evening time.
Hey, man, I'm laughing because we just had the fastest countdown ever. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what Lana just said. 5, 4, 3, like.
I wasn't going to say that. I'm glad you called.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the fastest countdown ever, man. What's going on, Dre?
Man, ain't too much, man. How you, man? How you doing this good gracious evening, man?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. All is well, homie. I ain't going to do no complaining. Let's jump into this thing, man. We got a few topics today. One being the Larry Elder Breakfast Club interview. Hot trending topic. I personally agreed with a lot of things he had to say, and some things I disagreed with.
Shout out to the black conservatives out there, man.
Yeah. So, let's just start there, because that's one of those things. Is being a black conservative a problem in regards to relating to other non-Republican conservative African Americans? Look at that, boy. We got producers, man. We moving up in this thing, man.
Well, I don't know what all that meant, because the last part, conservative African Americans, what's the difference?
Well,
because I'm confused.
No, I mean, it's nothing to be confused about, Dre.
Because like, are all Republicans conservatives or some liberals?
No, well, I think let's just say black Republicans.
Okay, black. That's what I was getting at.
Right. Okay.
Well,
okay,
but see, the reason why it's considered a problem because people tend to feel like that a Republican is racist. That's the temperature in the black community. That's what we've been taught. That's what we've been told by the other side. What he say? Joe Biden said, "You're not black if you don't vote Democrat." Some shit.
We
like
disappeared, Travis. You see us on the screen, baby.
So,
we good?
You know,
all right, I'm saying, hey, y'all, we like real TV, so you can see yourself. When you can't see yourself no more, you kind of know it might be a problem.
Right.
But no, I think it's he touched on a lot of good points.
He touched on a lot of shit.
I think the biggest point that he touched on was the fact that about fatherless homes, the man not being involved, and I don't care what kind of numbers you run on that. If you run the numbers about a man being in a child's life and a man not being in a child's life, and a man being in home and not being at home, those numbers don't lie. I think those numbers are extremely important. Now, there's an old saying that says, it says basically, numbers don't lie, but liars can also use numbers. And I think that's something that happens.
That's a good one, because I ain't never heard. That's a damn good one.
You never heard that one?
I heard that numbers don't tell the whole truth. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've heard that before, but that was a good
numbers
one.
don't lie, but liars use numbers.
Yeah, your shit sound way better than
mine.
You
can use numbers to skew the conversation however you want
to
go.
I agree.
And this is something I did on here. I brought about murder rates from 1960 all the way to present day. Those numbers aren't gonna lie. And before I even pull that out, I just want to say I bought it. And the reason I utilize that, because if you take a look at right now, and people talk about how violent things are and how these kids are so wild and these kids are so blah, blah. And I've said it, I don't know how many times on the show, but the reality of it is that we get more news, we get bombarded by more news today. So it makes it seem like things are so much worse than they really are. You get it on Instagram, you getting it on Twitter, you getting it on YouTube, you getting it on Snapchat, you getting it on, what else is out there? Well, I mean, you getting it on the TV, you getting it on the radio. There's so many things that and you have, everybody doesn't want to tell the same story, so they're all telling different stories where there used to be one big story. So, Dre, you taking a look at that?
Well, because I'm looking at it, but I'm just trying to.
So one of them is broken down by percentage of what the murder rate is, right?
I got you.
So if you take a look and say, and before we get to that, I mean, I just.
No, I got you. I'm
right.
just,
Huh? Mark Twain did that quote? Thank you, Anthony.
That was a Mark Twain quote you quoted?
I didn't know that. I just heard
you. Pretty tough, man. That's you went down in your bag for that one.
I'm a reader, so I ain't no telling where I got it from.
Yeah, you.
But
sharp.
I think what happens, like in the conversation of what they had, I think. First of all, I think they were on the attack mode. The panel was DJ Envy. What was the young lady's name?
I don't know, but she was definitely yeah.
They were all on the attack mode, and I think it's really difficult to make an informed decision if you can't properly allow a person to speak and get all the information.
And I think that's what we are with our politics as black people.
Yes,
exactly in that place.
We have a made up mind that, hey, what about this? And let's just talk about this, and I get it. I think everybody votes based on. You should be voting based on. The
your
things
life
that are going to affect you.
Yes.
And that makes a lot of sense. But if we're going to look at things objectively, factually, objectively, you have to be open-minded. You cannot make an informed decision without all the information. And when you start to attack people, then you're not getting all of the proper information from them before you can make a decision.
Absolutely. But I got a question, though, before we get into that.
Where's she from? Where does she come from? I never heard of her. Internet personnel? Tasman Figaro's her name? Jaslyn. Taslin.
New niggas. So what number? What are you trying to tell with these numbers? What story are you telling with these numbers? What are you supporting with these numbers? There's a lot of numbers here.
So basically, you kind of, if you go from 1960, I wish we'd have put this up.
Well, no, I'm following you 110%.
If you just go from 1960, right?
Population versus
the
crime,
population
murder
is
rate. I got you.
179 million people in 1960, right? Now let's just go all the way to 2019. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on there. I don't know what you did with my numbers here.
Well,
I was just going with murder rate because you changed it to percentages.
Well, this is what I think the difference is, and what tell the I'm not gonna say the lie in the numbers.
Okay, you got the murder rate right here, right? It can't be 5%. That's impossible. That's what it says. Nah, your numbers are wrong. There's no way we got a murder rate of 5%. That's not possible. So it was probably.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I want to get at.
The numbers up. That ain't.
I think, like I was telling them off camera, like what I think the difference is. I think crime levels have kind of always been the same, like you said, per population, per if the percentages they should kind of be the same. But what I'm saying is, I think there's more people committing crimes. Like back then, I think you had a select group of people or select type of people that would do things. Now I feel like everybody doing it, which don't have an age group on it. Because I would love to see the ages of some of these murders and some of these charges now, because I think the age is getting way younger than what they used to be. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe because I'm older now and I'm looking at life a lot different. Because when you're running with the wolves, you don't really know. You just a wolf. Right. Now I'm sitting back looking at the wolves like, damn, was I like that, or was I really that wolfish?
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think that's where we at for me anyway.
So they talked a lot about systemic racism, right?
Definitely.
What do you think about systemic racism?
Man, honestly, Cole, like I've never personally experienced racism, me personally. Like I've ever had a white person like just say some wild shit to me. No, like I ain't never had that racism fight. I'm no motherfucker saying something to me that just, But do I believe that a lot of things systematically affect poor people? Yes. And the fact that black people are the least, that's why we're affected the most. Because I think the system is designed for people. Rich people, broke people. I'm starting. The more I see it, I see it as a black and white thing sometimes, but on some things. But for me, I see it as a rich poor thing. Even with the criminal justice system, because if you got some paper, you're gonna get out of some shit, and if you got enough paper, you're not gonna even be in that shit because you're gonna be so far away from it. So I think it's a rich and poor thing.
There, I had a wire fraud case. Most of y'all know that, but. There was a guy, I think that was on House of Cards. He was being interviewed, and the interviewer said, there are so many people in jail for what it is you did. What's the difference in you and them? And he said some shit that blew me away. He said, I made the guy who wrote the law my consultant. They didn't. So I understood exactly what I could do and what I couldn't do, and they didn't. I would have hired the same dude. I just didn't know no better. I would have never went to jail and hired the same damn dude.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's like we gotta the levels unlock certain things. Like life is a food chain, bro, and the system is a food chain. If that makes sense. Because I mean, like I said, you know what I'm saying. Like we go out and fish, them fish don't stand a chance against one of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a fish, and But if the farther you go out, it's fish out there we can't stand a chance against. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a cycle, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when they round them motherfuckers up in the lesser communities, they know these motherfuckers ain't got the money to fight this case. That's why they not going around the criminals up in River Oaks unless they really need to go get them. And when that happens, what they go get? They go get the big boys to come get the bigger fish. You see what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
And so it's like, is it systematic racism or is it systematic classism? And I'm starting to look at classism.
I think it's more classism.
That's what I'm saying. I'm starting to look at more classism than racism in my day-to-day life, if that makes sense.
I had to give this guy,
I'm a smart motherfucker, by the way. I'm a smart motherfucker.
Yeah, you pretty sharp. I'm gonna give you credit. So there's a guy that's in the building here, the Indian kid. His dad owns the building, right? And we were having a similar conversation. I had to explain something to him. Something so simple. We had a 45-minute conversation, and he didn't understand racism like that, this, that, and the other. You know, I hear you guys say it. I don't want. He was trying to be politically correct. Mm-hmm. Well, we weren't getting anywhere. We were downstairs right at the door. We weren't getting anywhere. We walked outside, and it dawned on me. I said, I'm gonna show you. I got the best example I can ever give you. Your sticker on your car is from February of 2021. I say, and you've been riding around with that comfortable. He's like, yeah, I never got to it. I say, see, as black men, we're going to get pulled over with a sticker out for 2 years. You're an Indian living in Sugar Land, and it doesn't affect you the same way. But I said, let's look. But let me show you what I did.
Go ahead.
I said, let's walk around. I say, we both in this building every day, and we know whose car is who. And I showed him all the black people cars. And we saw 3 white people and another person. I don't know what that dude is, but their stickers was out. Mm-hmm. I say, we understand this is what's gonna get you pulled over. You don't give a damn.
Okay.
You don't face the same
but
scrutiny that we do.
Okay, is that more systematic, or is it because that route to Sugar Land is, once I get to Sugar Land, ain't that many police fuck with me because I'm in Sugar Land, versus you coming through Acres Home or Fifth Ward, whereas they out here for other shit. Okay, let me know the sticker because we looking for something else, not just a sticker being out. That's probably.
But it starts with the sticker.
Yeah, it starts with the sticker.
It starts with the sticker.
But what I'm saying is this though, I can comfortably ride through Sugar Land with this sticker being out because we ain't got laws in every corner looking for dudes selling or doing something illegal. But in Fifth Ward or in Acres Home, the law's already out there looking for something like that to pull you over. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when you go home at night, you don't see laws just posted unless they there. Oh, how you doing, Mr. Cole? Or, you know what I'm saying? They're not there to say, "Hey, your sticker out, let me pull you over."
Hey, you shooting a shot on the cool, y'all.
No. But I'm just saying, I'm giving you my thesis on the classism thing. Yeah, you're right. I'm an Indian dude first and foremost, but I'm Indian going to Sugar Land every day. If he was going to Acres Home, best believe he was gonna get pulled over.
Right.
So what you doing out here, Indian dude, with your sticker out?
Right.
You buying or you selling? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they've shifted. Yeah, they've changed. They know where it's at. Okay, this is where the lowest level of people are at. I don't know if I can completely say that right, but whatever. This is where the lowest income worth people at. So we're gonna please these people. We're gonna keep these people in because there's no grocery stores around. There's no real decent food around them. We have them in this area. So let's protect these areas and keep these people over here. So when we want to go get our numbers up, let's go here. We know they can't beat none of these cases we put on, whether it's trespassing, disorderly conduct, failure to ID, whatever that may be. Your sticker being out, we got a reason to come lock you up.
Cause.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? So it's if those people had money, they sticker probably wouldn't be out, or they probably wouldn't be living in this neighborhood.
Money, he ain't got no problem.
But I'm
he
not
just
saying
ain't got to it.
Right. But I'm saying, but in his mind, like he drives to.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
His Sugar Land neighborhood every day. Where ain't no laws out here waiting on him for a probable cause.
So.
If that makes
sense.
Because I mean
it's classism. But I'm going to stay on that because one of the things he said is that welfare did more harm than slavery did. And what did you think about that?
I'm a welfare baby for sure.
Well, I think if you take a look at what he was saying about the welfare system and the fact that it got the man out of the home, it broke up the family.
But I've heard Democrats and independents and a lot of people say that. Like, I don't think it was just limited to his belief. Like, I mean, and I think the entire panel agrees to that. And Envy stuck his foot in his mouth when he said, my son is in the real estate. And he's like, because of his father. And that just because he tried to say it as a jug, like, and dude's like, no, he got a father. Right. And like you said,
he's got a father that has access.
And the first thing you say about when you led your last conversation off, I was with the son of his father owns the building.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And they probably have real estate holdings that exceed about $30-40 million.
Exactly.
So he doesn't, he's not grasping the same. What's up, Lonnie?
We're about 18 minutes.
Okay. So our producer telling us how long.
That was kind of unprofessional, Lonnie.
It's
like
extremely
to interrupt the pod to be like, hey,
why do you have somewhere to go? Well, quit fucking with us, then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was real unprofessional.
Hey, man, y'all excuse us, man. This dude, man.
That don't happen on Dream Champs. That don't happen on the Joe Podcast. What's up, man?
He trying to shoot a slug. Don't do it. We ain't got their numbers yet. I know what he's going to say. We're trying to minimize. Well, this is the topic, though. So this is where we at right now.
Can you edit that part out and make it a little bit shorter?
Nah. No, We edit this shit out. And before I go any further, man, this is my first time seeing a retired drug dealer hat, man. So congratulations from retiring from the game. I've never seen a retired drug dealer hat. That is like the coolest hat ever.
Appreciate it,
But
man.
you retired, but you went to jail too.
Yeah, I mean, they retired me. Same like a nigga tell that ACL, he can't come back from it. I couldn't come back from that fair time. It was over with.
Oh, that's good, Travis. That's good.
I couldn't come back from that, man.
Retired drug dealer.
I couldn't come back. It was over with.
Line it. Well, I'm not going to do line it like that. I think I'm going to get a hat like that. Say, retired pussy hound. I'm not keep going.
Nah. But Larry Elder did his thing at the Breakfast Club, man. He made some great points. I think black conservatives get shamed on because, like I said, people deem Republicans to be racist. Like, that's just the temperature, if we being honest, amongst the black community, because that's the rhetoric we've been spewed and told. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a lot of conservative beliefs in my opinion, but, you know, that's just me.
I think we all do. I think anytime you start to climb the ladder, you start to think different, and that's where classism comes in more than black white comes into play, because as you climb up the ladder, you start to get access to different things. You start to be around different people. Now you're around people that are like-minded like you. As you said, I used to run with the wolves. Now that I'm away from the wolves, you start to ask yourself, was I like that?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is yes. I mean, I can tell you, I remember us having a real shootout coming down Antoine. Like, who does that?
Right.
But if I see it on the news, I'm sitting here disgusted, like
damn,
what's wrong with these little stupid ass? I mean, you know, I'm really frustrated and disgusted at them. Like the smash and grab, when I see stuff like this, I'm disgusted. But I can tell you, I'm a baby that I'm 8, 9 years old, getting right off the bus, running in Palais Royal, snatching me a few shirts and getting back on.
I ain't never had that courage.
I did that. Me and Bernard did that. We were going Woolworth, snatching right out.
Woolworth. They talking about making smash and grab a Fed case. Now they saying it's organized crime, so that's gonna be tough. I'm gonna see how that's gonna play out. I wonder what that guy like.
Well, I think what's gonna happen is a lot of these cases are gonna become federal, because that's where the time is at. The states don't have the budgets and the magnitude to hold all of these people. Neither does the feds. But violent crime is a problem. Violent crime is far worse to me than, you know, I ain't advocating no crime, but if you stole some money from the bank, hey, man, they got insurance. But when you go steal some money from this old lady and hit her in her goddamn head, or you go shoot somebody in carjack, that crime to me, personally, that's just me. I might be wrong.
Smash and grab, they insured though, too.
Yeah, but the problem with smash and grab being insured versus the bank being insured, if you got it on your goddamn computer and stole some money, it's you sitting there stealing that money. When you go in there to smash and grab, now, let's say you got heroic-ass Liner here, who's a licensed firearm carrier, who just might feel threatened, and now he's shooting you. Now y'all got to start back shooting. And who else you going to hit in the store?
Yeah, that's a radical
That's
scenario.
where the problem comes in.
That's a radical scenario, but I ain't seen that one
It's
yet.
not radical.
I ain't seen that one yet, though.
You haven't seen, okay, what about the dude who went in there and robbed all the people in the diner, turned his back, the man got up and killed him?
Yeah, but that's an armed robbery, not a smash and grab, though. I don't think the little niggas be strapped. I think it just be a bunch of little niggas from the block like, man, fuck it, let's go.
Old man at the liquor store.
He just got his ass. He had no gun.
No, old man at the liquor store when they came in to rob me, pulled the shot.
Yeah, but we talking about a robbery, though. I'm talking about a smash and grab. I mean,
That's a robbery.
Yeah, but to
That's
me,
a robbery.
But to me, that's more of like what they used to do, the little shit where they meet up and dance or the shit, like the flash mobs and shit. To me, that's more. I think they put the shit out through the net and like, hey, let's go do this. Because them motherfuckers ain't got no plan, bro. They just like, okay, they go to Louis till let's get it. And they just hooded up.
They got a plan.
Yeah,
if you can get 30 or 40 people together to go do anything, it had to be planned.
Agreed. But what I'm saying is I don't think it's as egregious as a motherfucker with that pistol running up in a liquor store or something like that. That to me, that's more egregious to me.
That's armed robbery.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but what I'm saying
I mean, it's still robbery. I get it.
Right, it's robbery. The problem with it becomes...
But I think there was a lot of kids, though. I don't think those are really...
When you run in here, and plus that's in California, we ain't going to have too many smash and grabs in Texas, I can assure you. That shit ain't gonna happen too often in Texas. Now, me and Anthony tend to disagree with that. And I'm not saying Texas is just bad and tough, but you don't know who got a gun in Texas.
Right.
And I can assure you, every 2 out of 10 motherfuckers in that store got a gun on them.
Well, that's not 100% true. When people shoot people in the stores in Texas, they didn't shoot back. When they was running and killing those people at the little Walmarts suicide and stuff like that. Wasn't a lot of people shooting back.
Well, because a lot of motherfuckers with
It
guns ain't
happened.
never been in no gunfight before either.
What I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of motherfuckers with these guns be doing all this pistol and flashing and that. They ain't never really been in no gunfight. So,
That's what I'm
you know.
saying. To go to your point, that may not happen.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying it's what they can get away with in California. You're not gonna a lot of that you're not gonna be able to systemically do in Texas.
well, if I see some motherfuckers doing smash grab, I'm not doing shit. Go
I'm
ahead.
not
and
either.
Get
I'm
y'all
gonna get out
shit
their
on, my
goddamn
nigga.
way.
I'm cheering
Shit.
y'all. Go, nigga, go. Give me a size.
I ain't cheering for them. I'm getting the hell out their goddamn way because I don't know
what I'm
which
saying?
one of these good old boys gonna want to say, well, goddamn it, I ain't gonna let you do that. Now he done shot at them and I don't know which one of these motherfuckers got a gun. Now they shooting back. Nah, I ain't going for it. I'm getting the hell out their way. You never answered the question though.
What was the
I
question?
mean,
I'm sorry.
did welfare? We're talking about did welfare do more harm than slavery, which I would say
I mean,
absolutely not.
I'm not gonna say more harm than slavery. I can't compare that. I really don't know. But you know, I'm learning a lot more about the welfare system than I ever have before. Like, you know, just hearing, you know, it was like basically it was incentivized. But then I think about what I always say. Me growing up, it wasn't no dudes over there. Like, they weren't supposed to be there if they were there, because I stayed in a low income project or whatever. So, you know, it was the one thing everybody had in common was a single parent household.
There's a guy that has a book. I think it's called Toxic Charity by Robert. Look it up. Toxic Charity.
But a lot of Republicans
is
seem
the
to
name-
believe that. though.
Is the name of the book is Robert Luxton, I think is what it is. Is that his name? Can you look that up for me real quickly? Anyway, and he says there are 5 stages to dependency, and we know this with, you know, when you were talking about Robert Lumpton, something like that. Okay, and very good book, but he talks about 5 stages to dependency. First of all, you give somebody something one time, they'll appreciate it. And if you give it to them again, they'll anticipate it. The third time, they will become expectant of it. They will expect it. What is it? Let me see. What is it? It's appreciation. It's appreciation. They'll anticipate you'll do it again. The third time, they will feel, anyway, it's appreciation, anticipation, expectation, entitlement, and dependency. I think those are the 5. And in Toxic Charity, what he talks about is the more you give a person, the less they're willing to go hustle and make something happen for themselves. And so that's the problem with the welfare system itself. If I'm willing to give you something, it's really easy for you to accept what I've given you and not do more. So what happens on a welfare system, in any type of system, when you give somebody something, when you start to make people dependent upon you because they know you'll always have it, they're unwilling to do what they need to do. And I think that's what happens a lot of times in the welfare system. To put it in a different manner, you were talking about, I saw this interview, I think that we were talking about it. I think I saw the one you were talking about with one of the guys that say, well, Jeezy didn't do this and Jeezy didn't do that for me. And I'm like, well, damn, did he owe you to you?
Right.
Like, did he? I waited for the whole thing. I think he was on the dude out of Atlanta.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he was on his podcast, and I was waiting to see, like, was they partners? Did Jeezy? Nah, you was just his partner. What did he owe you? But people, what happened is Jeezy gave him some one time. He appreciated it.
So let's talk about that though. Like, if we compare it to slavery, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because the welfare system is still happening. Like, it's still being incentivized to not have a man at home because it's like those kids are more subject to be part of this system we talking about.
Well, I think
So it made sense for if we're creating. This is the thing, I think, that once you start to understand money and how money works and how people keep getting imprinted, war, prisoners of war, and the oppressed people. But the oppressed people is the poor people, because every country has slaves. Everybody has slaves. Everybody has rich and poor.
the
And
Bible.
that's what America's turning into.
The Bible tells you that the poor will always be among us.
Yeah, without
Right.
question.
And I think it's Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. I don't know. Y'all quote me. You can quote me. I think that's right. But it said, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes it merry, but money answereth all things. Go look it up. It says money answereth all things.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want to get some?
Right. But like I said, I mean, but like I
It
said,
answered all things. Go look it
welfare
up,
created
man.
those traps, man. Like I said, those same welfare, recipients, was
Ecclesiastics 10 and 19.
was a dope boy dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? Them checks came on the first, like, you know what I'm saying? That was a dope boy holiday, first of the month.
But the problem with that is, this is the thing.
But it created a food chain, though.
Right. You don't realize you poor. Now, what's happened is, in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s even, people didn't know that they were poor because this is just the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there was camaraderie in these neighborhoods. So you didn't get outside. Like, okay, if you was in Fifth Ward, you was in Fifth Ward.
Right.
If you was in South Park, you was in South Park. We wasn't really going across town like that. Everything was confined to this little section we living in, right? Now with the internet and Instagram, it's opened up a whole thing to say. Now you can see how other people really live. Now you can realize you're poor. And the biggest problem with it is so many of these people are lying. So when you see all of these people online and they telling you about their great lifestyle, that so many of them are lying. That's the real problem. And now it's got these people saying, well, I can do this, I can do this. Everybody can be a boss.
Well, let me tell you something. If you're not paying taxes, you kind of poor.
Shit, no shit. I got a bill right now, dude.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I thought about that because I was like, I remember being young and, man, how everybody around the neighborhood be happy because they got a tax return. And now that I have a business, shit, I be like, damn.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You get it different. Did you look it up, Anthony?
So
Lonnie, did you look it up?
It's well, I wish I could see Lonnie's motherfucker.
Yeah, just look at that 19. I think it's 10 and 19.
10 and 19.
You know what
10
I'm
and
saying?
19. Yes.
So,
Because I see you looking it up. It said a feast is made for laughter. You see it? Wine makes it merry. But money, all things.
Yeah.
It's 10 and 19. You got to go, if you want to go to the word now, hey, money answered all things.
There's a quote from Walter E. Williams from the Wall Street Journal that said that the welfare state has done to black Americans what slavery could not do, and that is to destroy the black family. So a lot of people bias with you that welfare has done more than slavery.
And you go, but that's what I'm saying. So is that's what I'm saying for people who don't believe in the welfare system was like that bad of a thing. Think about this. When the whole slavery was a choice conversation came about, what did everybody say? I would have to sacrifice my family. I have to leave my family. So we remained in slavery to stay with my family. So a lot of people said, like, man, there wasn't no choice, man. They would kill your family if you burn out. So people cared that much. They'd rather be in bondage than be free without to be with their family. So now
That's deep. These suckers will run off so quick right now.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
they'll
one of
burn
those
off.
things where it's like, oh man, it's so much I want to say about this subject, but it's just one of them things where it's like, you see it, bro. Like, I'm from the neighborhood now. Like you said, when you of it, you don't realize it.
Right.
But once you remove yourself and see it and get understanding for what you're looking at, it's like, wow. Man, not too long ago, maybe last week, maybe not last week before last, I was talking to some dudes out there. We was talking about the neighborhood. And they was like, man, how much you think something like this would cost, man? I was like, man, this shit millions and millions of dollars. It's like, wow. I was like, bro, every one of these apartments over here probably about $2,000, $1,500 a month. Man, they only pay $20, $30. I was like, yeah, somebody cover
Somebody
that tab.
subsidizing it.
Yeah, I say,
I'm
man,
going to look at an apartment complex in the morning.
and they couldn't
Right.
blew their fucking minds. Like these niggas, they don't, they over here laying up, and they was blown about what this. They got 3 and 5 bedrooms in Garden City, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, you know what, that a small house, bro. Somebody's taking care of that tab.
I'm going to look at an apartment complex in the morning, and they want $20 million for it, directly in the hood, right off Homestead, straight in the hood. But when you look at the rent roll of it, they're paying $1,200 to $1,800, right? But the people in there are paying $70. Who's paying the rest of that?
Taxpayers.
Goddamn right.
Taxpayers.
This is a no-brainer. And so when you start to look at it from that standpoint, now that's when they say it's money in the ghetto, that's where the money in the ghetto come from. But now here go the trick to it, because it's my second time going to look at it, right? So when I first get it, this is another thing that people don't realize about the corporate side, these corporate thieves. The numbers look so great on paper, Now, had I not had the experience I have, I would have just sent that over to a lender, and bam, I can do this. And it might even pass the appraisal because they don't require an inspection. But it's it's about 50% empty because it's rat infested and all of this other stuff. But based on the numbers, the one we went and looked at,
A little bit more, maybe 60%.
right, about 60%. But it's worth rehabbing. So it makes sense. The deal itself makes sense.
Especially you gonna get that bond from the state and
Right.
help you fix it up,
But-
makes it nice, affordable housing. 'Cause
You
that's
have,
what they
but
giving
you
away
have
for.
these people that's on welfare in Section 8 that's right there. They don't even understand how they're being utilized.
Yeah.
And so
And
I
that's a
haven't
big
been-
tax write-off for somebody too.
it's not so much even a tax write-off. I mean, you got to think about it. The
Well, if
housing
the
is
apartments
subsidizing.
yeah.
Housing is subsidizing it. So here it is. Prayerfully we can put this deal together. You're talking about positive cash flow of about $140,000 a month. And here it is, these guys that are in here are only paying $70. And it's so funny to me because the people that work in the offices are normally on their row about not paying they $70, $80. I don't give a damn if you pay it or not. I'm going to pay it for you. I need them people to pay the rest.
Right.
I shouldn't say that on camera. I can't say that on camera.
Yeah, you can.
You got to, no, you
Yeah,
can't.
you can't do that though.
Yeah, you can't say that. Yeah, you can't say that.
But I'm just saying, but it's a vicious cycle, bro. And I think so many people don't really understand what that cycle looks like to understand systematic classism. Hopefully I'm starting a new tune, man. I mean, right.
Well, you don't know that when you really in it because everybody around you is the same.
Yep.
And so we kind of got a little off course about what Larry Elder was saying. I just don't like the way they were on the 100% attack. I think a lot of times, because I respect everybody on the panel. Charlemagne's pretty sharp guy, Envy's sharp guy, and the young lady was extremely sharp. It was just the fact that they were attacking him.
Man, Larry took all their to deep waters and drowned them. All of them.
He
Charlemagne, Envy, and her.
he wasn't witty enough in a lot of situations.
Who, Larry?
Yes.
Yeah, but he
stuck to his numbers and everything.
He
but
stuck to his numbers. He stuck to his calmness. He stuck to all. Even when he got frustrated, he stuck to it. They was all frustrated back on. They couldn't rattle that dude, and he chopped their ass up.
He was fact-based, he was emotional.
Man, he chopped their ass.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. He was fact-based, they was emotional.
In fact, it's supposed to be facts over feelings every time. But when he fired back at Charlemagne after Charlemagne said that shit about what's the shit about the Joe Biden coming, Joe Biden told you if you ain't black, if you don't vote for the fuck out of here, bro. You didn't yeah.
I mean, and if you go now, here's the other trick because y'all go back. Judge Joe Brown, if you guys don't know, hates Joe Biden. He says Joe Biden's a racist.
He is.
And he, pointed back in his time when Joe Biden said some things. I think there's a situation though. The way I look at that is as we get older and as we grow, I'm not going to say he's not a racist. I'm going to say that he's a politician first. And I think as a politician first, in his era, in his time, being on the right side of race was the determiner of where you're going to stay in office or not.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful. It's far more of them than it is of us. So therefore, they didn't give a damn if they got any of the black vote. As long as I can get 2/3 of the white vote, I'm going to stay in.
But this is
So that's
the
what
thing,
they pander to.
This is the thing though. Like, I care about policy more nowadays than I care about personality, and that's what it should be about when you're in politics. Because just because you don't like a motherfucker personality, what affects you? And because let's go back to the Democrat Republican thing. The tax difference in the tax, dealings with Democrats, tax dealings with Republicans. You taxing corporations more when Democrats are in office versus when Republicans are in office. Those more taxes trickle down to poor people. And that affects us in a way that, we don't even realize. Because if you're taxing the corporation more, of course, that they got to release that pressure by hitting somebody that's usually a consumer. And consumers are affected by, a lot of times, Democrats are in office because of the tax police that they have.
Yes and no. And I'm not going to disagree with what you said there, but let me put it to you this. Let me make your point a little bit for you. What happens is when you increase it doesn't matter what you can increase the tax rate to 50%.
Right.
It really don't matter. You can increase the poor people are going to be the ones that can't get out of it. these corporations have the best attorneys in the world. They got the best financial accountants, financial analysts in the world. So they're going to set up subsidiaries all over the world, and they're going to move that money out of the country. They're going to move that money around the world. So what happens is, when the tax rate is low, they don't mind having that money on shore. That money being on shore is going to be in American banks. American banks have leverage from 8 to 20 to 1, which means basically if you put in $1, they can loan out anywhere from $8 to $20 on your dollar. That means that we get more loans at a better rate because of all of that cash being cash flush, leaving it on our shores. Makes a big difference. That also means that because of those loans coming out, that our economy is going to be boosted up because you have far more consumer spending. Now, when you tax them in different ways, they're just going to move it around. It doesn't make a difference to the people that are rich. This is why when you say that, when Warren Buffett says his secretary pays more taxes than him, that's normal because she's paying income tax. There's a huge difference on an income tax and a company tax. Right. Because if you make $100,000 a year as an individual, you're going to be taxed at about 39%. You'll probably take home $61,000. If I make $100,000 a year through my company, I don't give a fuck what I'm taxed at because I can create enough expenses and buy enough things and utilize that money till the point that I'm going to most likely file for a loss on it anyway.
Or break even. You
don't have the ability to do that because you're getting your money, you're not getting pre-tax money, you're getting post-tax money.
Yep.
Just like that. Your taxes are coming out of your check. When you have a company, a corporation, all of your money come to you. You can create all types of expenses for it. Anyway, we're kind of getting off track a little bit. I'm showing y'all some of this sharp shit. You know what I mean?
Work.
Fuck with me.
Oh, yeah, man. What we got next?
We got Lonnie Cousin, man. So,
shit.
Hey, man, Lonnie Cousin, y'all don't know in H-Town, man. Y'all go check out this boy, man, Taryn Green. Man, the man, he been watching, Dre say he been, what you said, Dre, what he on, GTA?
He been on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, he been on Grand Theft Auto, man. The police, what happened? Man, pull that shit up. Show him what happened, Travis. Pull this shit up. This dude tripped out, man. Hey, man, the man tripped out. We can't hear it.
Started with a traffic stop on Homestead Road Wednesday evening. Harris County Deputy Joseph Anderson pulled Green over, and when the deputy approached the vehicle, Green pulled out a gun and shot him. That deputy was taken into surgery. Officials say he's still in critical condition at this point, but recovering. Now, that shooting sparked a multi-agency manhunt across Northeast Houston with a blue alert issued for Green and his brother. His brother was questioned yesterday morning, then released and cleared as a suspect, but Green was still on the run. Then around 8 last night, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeted Green was possibly barricaded inside a home on Silhouette Ridge Drive. When officers entered that house, Green opened fire, injuring 3 more officers, and there was a shootout after that. It took roughly 3 hours, several different law enforcement tactics before Green was pulled from the house and taken into custody just before midnight. Now, Taryn Green is charged with 3 counts of attempted capital murder. We're working to learn when he'll go before a judge on these charges, and we'll bring you those latest updates on KHOU.com.
All right, man. So,
Taryn Green, you a fool. What else? Fool.
Hey, that's Lonnie Cousin, man. That's Lonnie people, man. That's our producer people, man. Hey, man.
That's some Grand Theft Auto shit. Cause I remember being up late night playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, fuck it, I ain't got nothing. And go dumb. He went dumb.
Yes, but I think.
Damn, homie.
This is one of the problems, and I have met this dude before, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's Lonnie Cousin.
Was he shoot a nigga, bang bang type nigga?
He didn't seem to be that type of dude, but what happens is a lot of these dudes, that ain't him. Who is that? That ain't him. Nah, that wasn't him.
That was a nigga baby pick.
That's not him. But what happens with a lot of these guys, they watching social media, they watching all of these things on YouTube. You see,
Turn that shit off.
Can you pull up the one in there where he's playing with his gun?
Oh, that's funny.
Did you see that?
Now.
Did you see that where he's playing with the gun
Instagram
like a guitar?
post.
Lonnie, you got that one? Where your cousin was playing with his gun like a guitar? What was it, on his Instagram?
It was on Instagram, yeah.
His Instagram probably going crazy. Take a look at Taryn Green Instagram. Pull it up, man.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, he went on one. That's crazy.
Pull it up, Travis. It's Terrence Green playing with his gun like a guitar. See, he been a damn fool. This ain't just happened. The fact that he related the line, it tells you you're a goddamn fool already.
That's cold.
That's enough right there. I be watching Lonnie every day. Every day I'm watching all this movement. I got
Lonnie, you got that in you?
Yeah, he got it in it, man.
Oh, shit.
He got it in
Oh,
it.
shit.
But I think this brings about a serious point on, people were talking about defunding the police and all these things. If you don't have the police around and none of this, and this man just opened fire on your ass or your grandmother, how you gonna handle this?
Well, hold on.
Go ahead, cause I know.
Because defund the police, I don't. Well, this is my. I don't. Oh man, this.
Go ahead, let's go.
Defunding the police, man. I don't think it really means what people think it is. Like, we're not saying get rid of police. People that say that. Because my interpretation of defunding the police, like every police department don't need fucking tanks and all the shit that they have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like they just don't. A lot of police organizations were funded with this war on drug money that they've been getting for years and years and years and years, which result in what is our money doing? Which results in more in jumping out twos and thirds. Is why twos and thirds are popular in the neighborhood, because they had to put up numbers for that money they was receiving from the government for this so-called war on drugs. Mm-hmm. So defunding the police means they don't need all the bullshit that they got.
Yes and no. So let me tell you where you and I would disagree with it, right? Because we both kind of consider ourselves somewhat conservative, right? If you can get 30 to 40 youngsters to go smash and grab, you don't think you can get them to go door to door and kill some people? I know they might sound extreme, but if they don't have all of the things that they have at their disposal, I've been a criminal my whole life. So shit, if I'm telling you this,
but
this
do you
is a problem.
okay?
I hate to say it,
but do you think,
I'm not now.
But do you think every department should have a special task force for all these specific crimes? Because all this shit take overtime money, all this shit take equipment, all this shit take all these things. Because see, that's what we're not talking about. When people say defund the police, we make it a broad thing like defund the police. We're not talking about all these bad units that then went out, been robbing motherfuckers and low key killing motherfuckers. Like, they have all type of shit going on in all these different.
I agree with you.
All around the country. You know what I'm saying? That have been funded by these funds. That my personal thing is, like, I think some of that money that y'all spend on equipment and some of the shit y'all do, some of the shit should be redirected, not defunded, but redirected into more training, way more training than what y'all got. Because it should not take you longer to become a fucking barber in some places than it does you to become a police officer. Don't make sense to me at all. So
I didn't even know that. How long do it take them to become a police officer? Look that up, man.
I mean, 6 months, right?
How long would it take you to become a police officer?
Physical training is 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
So 6 months you can carry a gun and go shoot somebody, huh?
9 months with 6 in the physical and 3 in the class one.
Was your cousin planning on being a police officer?
Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? So the defund the police shit or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? I think that should be, because I think, man, really what I think, man, what I really believe, bro, like, I think the money should be reallocated to people invested in the community as far as being a father figure, role model to some of these kids, man, to get focus on to crime prevention than fighting crime. If that makes sense. Because everything
makes a lot of sense.
Because we spend trillions of dollars on fighting crime and we still got crime. I would love to know the numbers what they spent on this so-called war on drugs. Because that war has been going on longer than we stayed in the fucking desert over there.
That's correct. It says 3 to 4 months for the hiring process, and then after that you have a 6 months police academy, and after that you have another 6 to 12 months probationary period before becoming a full-fledged police officer.
Yeah, but you on the streets but have a lot of probationary period though. That's a fact. Yeah, so 6 months.
That's 9, 3 months.
Yeah, but if you're not on the streets, there was 3 months to because they got to run your credit, your background.
No, first part is
But we can't negate the 6 to 12 months of probationary.
But that means you just can't fuck up though. That means you're still on the force. You're a cop. You're arresting motherfuckers.
You're not a full-fledged police officer.
My
So
cousin,
what do you have the ability to do?
It's 9 months though. 3 months interview process.
Okay, but hold on. That's just a waiting list, motherfucker. I'm talking about 6 months of training. 6 months of training.
You find that interview, Travis?
The 6 to 12 months, if you're on probationary period, that's like any other job. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing something.
You're acting as you're riding secondary.
You're doing something. You ain't kicking in those, but you're doing something.
Yeah, you're riding the payroll.
Yeah, you can fuck around and shoot a motherfucker and after 6 months of training.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's go. We still with Mr. Green. Let me see. Does this help in decreasing the police administered deaths and murders we have witnessed in the past 8 years? I don't understand the
Yeah,
question.
me neither. That don't make sense.
I don't. That was who did that question? You, Anthony?
What it's saying is that is it changing the climate for it? And like when we look at police murders versus like the capital murders that police are doing versus what we're doing, what people are doing towards police, is that helping the conversation?
Hell no, it's not helping. It's just gonna make them more aggressive towards motherfuckers like us. Like, no, it don't help.
Yeah, now they pull up online and they probably just shoot him. Shit, he look just
right.
like it. Shit, they pull
You know
you
what I'm
up.
saying? No, that doesn't.
And your last name
Yeah,
Green?
I'm anytime
Shit.
the thing
Last name
I
Green.
have with police officers, like I understand the need for police. I know several police officers. I'm really close to a few police officers. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I have respect for the job. But what I'm saying is everybody human. And as a police officer, man, I think your training should be being able to keep your emotions intact. Like Larry Elder was on that show, he kept his emotions intact.
That's a lot of psych.
But what I'm saying though, so all that should be a part of your training. Is what I'm saying.
It can be a part of your training all you want to. You pull Terran Green over and he just open fire on you. What training?
Oh no. I didn't get away from that. That was a radical situation. Okay. He tripped out.
What I'm saying is, this is a traffic stop. This was a traffic stop. They said.
But this is what I'm
so
saying.
So I'm pulling you over as a traffic stop.
But there's a difference between.
I come up here and you shoot me.
But there's a difference between trained and untrained, Cole. Like there should never be a mistake by a professional. I'm a professional. The amount of mistakes that professionals have should be limited versus unprofessionals. Is what I'm saying. So
I think they are limited.
They're not limited.
Now you got me defending the police, but I'm a defender.
Because let me give you one scenario.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's look at the tape on Rice. How the fuck you just slide up in there, jump out and shoot without even identifying this was a 13-year-old child, 12-year-old kid? How is that possible from a trained professional?
So let me one thing about it, I'm always go to the numbers. If I go to the numbers, just the numbers, and I'm gonna have to defend the goddamn police.
I mean, we're having a conversation. We're not defending anyone. We're having a conversation.
I'm gonna defend the police. So, police around. I gotta defend the numbers. So okay, police around the country make thousands of traffic stops a day, and if we're saying every day in America, thousands of traffic stops are made. Thousands of arrests are made, thousands of interaction with the police and the civilian population is made, thousands every day. So we're gonna say, I'm sure it's fair to say that number comes into the millions every year. And if what we're doing is taking and isolating, and I understand, I'm not making any excuses and I'm not justifying anybody's behavior. Let me say that. But what we're doing is saying, out of 1 million traffic stops and cases, interactions with the police, we can take out, what would be 1% out of 1 million? 1% would be 10,000, right? So we're going to take 0.002 or 3. We're going to take 10 or 20 cases out a year and say these guys aren't professional. I think that's unfair. And that's, at the end of the day, it's kind of like saying, it's probably unpopular to say, but how many school shootings have we had? Well, we go through 100 years and we come up with 10 school shootings. Shit, that ain't a bad number because there was some stupid motherfuckers I went to school with. I can't believe none of them ain't shoot nobody at school.
But this is the thing, though. Like, the population of people outweigh the population of police. So there's going to be more ruckus from the people than it should be from police just based on numbers, sheer numbers alone, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is this. As a professional, when I train for a profession, I mean, I'm perfecting my craft, right?
Correct.
So every year in the toolbox, I know they're required to go shoot, or however many months it is they're required to go shoot, resharpen their skills. But what I'm saying is this. If I'm a trained professional paid for by the people, for the people, those kind of mistakes can't happen the way that they happen. Like, some of these shootings was super duper uncalled for, bro. Like, just super duper, like, it's the first reaction. I'm going to pull my gun. I know you want to go home, but I want to go home too. And when I don't get to go home, don't let that happen to you, because I'm police play by a different set of rules. Qualified immunity is a real thing. When they lose lawsuits, they don't pay that money. That's not coming out their pension, which it should. But who pays that money? Taxpayers.
You done became a hell of a taxpaying citizen.
But there's what I'm saying.
God damn. You mad about paying these fucking taxes?
Because there's no incentive. Shit. There's no incentives for motherfuckers to not behave in a way that they behave. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Because they can be wild cowboys and they're protected by qualified immunity. That's what I disagree with. Because I feel like if a motherfucker filed a complaint on you and you filed liable for a lawsuit on something, that should come out your motherfucking pension. Because their pension is all their motherfucking money put in one pot. Exactly. There's no accountability. You see
whenever you get down to the finances of anything, if you want to hurt anybody,
right,
fuck with the money.
And how hard is that? Why do taxpayers have to pay for y'all mistakes when y'all are paid and trained to uphold the Constitution and policies in your area?
Well, I'm not
paid for and funded by the people.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, I don't care what line of work you in, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a policeman, whether you're a lawyer.
Okay, a perfect example. A doctor can't fuck up like that and expect to be a doctor.
They do it every year. They do it every year.
What you mean? I mean, they do because they have malpractice insurance.
But doctors usually are sued for malpractice every day in this country. Some doctor has made a mistake every day.
Right, but
now let's just take a look.
But doctors ain't protected like that for their mistakes. They got their malpractice insurance, but their practice is gonna be the shit. They ain't gonna be the best doctor no more.
But
their reputation is fucked.
How many people are actually looking at every act? What is it called? How many people go in and look at their doctor's record?
Depends on what I'm going for.
Okay, you going for a heart transplant? You going for cancer? Are you really? I mean,
because you listen to a doctor recommendation. A lot of people don't, but I'm saying
they're normally just going to say, "What doctor can I afford? What does my insurance take care of?"
So, how many cops you think rolling the street have complaints on them versus a doctor with a malpractice lawsuit? That number probably way higher. Just a simple complaint.
I don't want to guess.
I mean, me neither. I'm just saying.
I don't want to guess.
Just a simple complaint that goes nowhere because the complaint goes back to the people. It goes back to the people. Like I complained to you, this the cop right here, and we filed a complaint. But shit, that complaint about him goes to him. They work the fucking guy. They on the same team. So that complaint goes unheard.
Okay.
So I go all day with this. So
right. We.
I also said I watch police audit videos too, though. So
you said what?
I watch those police audit videos. You should check up on that. Some good shit.
What is it?
Police audits. I got the little app on my phone, Tyranny. Whenever you want to know a law about something right on the spot, that's the what's called.
Police audit.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about police audit.
They super thorough. People that know their Second Amendment rights. I mean, all your rights.
No, not Second Amendment rights.
Fourth Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. Just know your rights, period. I mean, there's an app they got. It's called Cancel Tyranny.
Cancel Tyranny.
Yep.
Is an app they have. So download it and tell us about the app real quickly before we go.
I mean, the app is just basically like if you anywhere you want to know about to stop in ID states and shit like that. Like it's like on deck on hand. Like Texas is not a stop and ID state. You have to be in commission or in suspect of a crime before somebody's allowed to identify you. So motherfucker can't just walk up and say, "Let me get your ID," because your name is put in a system that the police had an encounter with you. It's like remember we was on probation. Yeah. You got stopped. Like as a regular citizen, you're put in that same system anytime a cop interacts with you.
Yeah, I got stopped for coming through the tollway one night.
Yeah.
As he said, I went around the guy, and I'm like,
well, traffic stops, you got to get your ID, but like it ain't. Texas is not a stop and ID state.
But I just was, but anyway, he let me go right away. I didn't think he ran me. He did go and run me. PO pulled me up, talking about why didn't I tell her that I got to stop? I'm like, damn, I ain't think he ran it. I ain't getting no ticket. I ain't do shit. You had an interaction.
Yeah, you had an interaction.
So I had an. Anyway, we're talking about Taryn Green, Lonnie cousin, man. So, let's let me show you guys. We can't find that particular video, but here's the other part. This is
our production team some shit tonight. What's going on?
It's okay. We working. We getting things back in order. I'm normally hard on Travis and Lonnie. Anthony coming over here to help with these weird ass questions, but your questions are really good in a sense. They just kind of worded wrong. But anyway, it's not worded wrong. Okay. So, but here's the other part of criminal behavior that people don't tend to take into account. Now, Taryn Green went back to, was that his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend?
Was it granny house, wasn't it?
He went to a family member's home saying, "I'm a hideout." Can you pull up on the screen and see what these people did to this family member home? don't give a damn if it's ongoing or not. His ass ain't finna get out of jail. What can we say to hurt him? I'm not snitching on him. This motherfucker shot 3 cops, 4 of them. I'm not snitching on him.
On body camera.
You did that on body cam. What the hell can I tell? What I'm saying is, Lonnie, if you do the same shit your goddamn cousin did, don't come bring your ass to my house talking about hide me out. Because these people that showed me, they gonna tear your goddamn house apart. Travis, pull that picture up what they did to these people's house, man.
That was a rent house, too.
That was a rent house. So, Allegedly, what we alleging?
No, it was a white man on TV saying, no. It was a white man who was on TV talking about it was his house. He was gonna try to use insurance to get it fixed. Yeah. Where y'all at with y'all? How y'all
Hey, so hold on. On the screen, look at this. This is what they. Oh man, come. I want to see the whole thing. There you go. That line of cousin, little Taryn. Taryn, you tripped out. Hey, T man, come on. Stop. Just pause it. Go back.
Damn.
Go back. This is what they did. Hold on. I need you to show just the house. This is what they did. Stop. Now this is the shit they did looking for his ass. Lonnie, don't come to my goddamn house when you and these folks, when you get into it with these folks, man. I'm not letting you in. These people ain't finna come tell me. They had bulldozers and all kind of military shit that Dre say they don't need, which they probably don't need if this is what they gonna do. If this is what you gonna do, to go get one man.
Well, see, the thing is,
a robot dog.
But the thing is, they got the U.S. Marshals. He shot the U.S. Marshals. That's why they did all that. That was some U.S. Marshal shit. Look at this shit.
Is that his girlfriend?
Hope not.
What is you trying to clean up? It don't matter, baby.
Yeah.
She got a broom in her. Hey, baby, I'm sorry, baby. Hey, you ain't fucked over you, man.
She trying to get her shit up out of there.
Oh, my God.
That's wild.
Did y'all see this house?
That's wild.
And now the crazy part is, they say it's like Christmas lights because you got all these people going over here to see the house. Royce and her husband and her kids then went seen the goddamn house twice. Can't make this shit up. Oh, when we went over there, it was a lot of people. And then we went again, it was more people. Like, what?
Well, he probably moved out there, but like, there's a lot of niggas, nasty ass house too. They was in that bitch. Nah, they definitely, they got backpacks and shit. They mad in the mother. They got that Xbox in their backpack.
What he taking that TV for? Look, that little motherfucker look like it don't even work no more. No shit working there.
That's wild.
Hey, listen, man.
That's wild.
We ain't getting to touch on these other subjects tonight. Listen, man. But, wow. So, this is a great question. What do you think the sentencing should be for Mr. Taryn Green? Lonnie, that's your cousin. What should they give your cousin? Go ahead and tell your family, what do you think your cousin ought to get? Triple life. God damn, Republican Lonnie. Well, we know Lonnie's a start. I'm talking about total Republican. No, Lonnie gonna give your ass that time.
We know that wasn't your favorite cousin.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't.
Shit.
He say give him triple life. What you think, Anthony? What he get? Oh, look at the back of this shit. Look what they did. Man, rewind that.
But show how they pulled him out the house, though. Did you see how they got him out the house?
Just stop, man.
Yeah, I'm not sentencing nobody either.
Stop. Look at this.
They fucked that house up.
So they gonna tear the house down for this one man. Did they throw tear gas in there? Yeah, had to. That didn't work to get him out?
Man, look at all that shit in that house, my nigga. That's a slum, nigga.
That ain't no slum. We don't know what it looked like. They just imagine if somebody run some shit through your closet in your bedroom.
You can get an idea what that motherfucker look like. Look at all that shit that was in that garage.
Wow.
Let it play out a little bit. The show the part how they pulled him out the house, though. They made him ride that hoe.
Hey, Taryn Green, man, on the real, home. I know you. They watch us down in the county too, man. They be, y'all check us out on y'all phone. Yo, T Green, man, check this out, homie. If you gonna be a G, well, I ain't gonna say that. Oh God, you was a G either way it go.
Hey man, Taryn, I know you got some good ass stories to tell them boys down there. Yeah, nigga, I was in that bitch, some whole ass loud comes to that dope nigga. I pulled that first one, yeah. Boy, I know them hoes. Boy, you finna ride, boy. I know you finna ride, boy. I look, hey, boy, I heard some wild stories in jail.
I ain't gonna
The
even lie
niggas
to you,
seen
man.
your shit.
Listen to me,
They
man.
gonna be like, boy,
I'm real big on
we gonna
second
give you all
chances
kind
and
of suits and
redemption.
shit.
But Taryn, I don't really trust you being out here in the free world, man. You kind of scare me, man. He might have mental health issues. Do your cousin got mental health issues, Lonnie?
That's on the house right there.
I mean, you know him, shit.
I believe so. That's him.
He a little over the edge. I
That nigga
wanted to
way
see him.
over the edge, my nigga.
I wanted to see him
That
play
nigga
that
went
guitar.
Grand Theft Auto 5-6 stars, bro.
Hey man, look at him. Taryn Green playing the guitar, playing his gun like a guitar.
It was on his story. Probably ain't pull up on nothing.
It was on his story.
On the story, yeah. One of his homeboys posted it and they sent it to us. That's how I saw it. So I don't know.
Yeah, he was out. He was destined to shoot and kill somebody.
God damn.
You know, we was talking about why didn't he kill, but he tried.
Oh.
You know, he tried, man. He tried. Yeah, you can't look at this, man. I mean, let's talk about that real quickly before we wrap up. I want to know how much excessive force, how much excessive shit should you do to get somebody out of the house? You know he in the house. Why did you have to tear these people shit down?
Man, when that man shot that fucking marshal, you knew it was over with. A U.S. Marshal?
They want to show the world what they can do to you.
A U.S. Marshal.
Oh, that's what it was. They wanted to show the world.
A U.S. Marshal. Let alone the sheriff. A U.S. Marshal? What you know people come for a stupid ass? They wanted to see that nigga peekaboo. We outside.
How they gonna accidentally kill him? I'm surprised he didn't come out of there guns blazing and say, "Shit, this how I want to be remembered."
I'm saying accidentally because that's what they would say when they killed him. It was an accident. I'm surprised they didn't accidentally.
There was too many cameras out there at that point.
Oh, did they shoot back at him? Because I ain't never did they have a gunfight with him, or did they just try to go in the house? And he just opened fire on their ass. And they backed up out of there.
No, they shot back at him.
They shot back at him. Okay.
No, they shot back. He was just a better shot at that time because he got out first. You know, he was the Wild Wild West. Hey man, Space say I'm from the state of the motherfucking gunslingers, knocking dicks in the dirt with just this one finger. I shouldn't have said that, man. Edit that shit out, Travis. Because that's insensitive to. No, I'm wrong for that, man. You ain't got to edit it, but I do not mean to make a mockery of anybody that was harmed in the shootout. Any of our policemen that were harmed in the shootout. That was a bad taste in jokes right there. So please forgive me. I apologize sincerely. Now Dre is checking Instagram.
I'm not checking Instagram.
But seriously, before we wrap up, this is a very good question. Should there be a more open conversation about gun laws and gun violence on both sides of the aisle? And I think that's a yes. I'm a fella now, so I can't have a gun. And I don't like it because you have Taryn Greens that can have guns, and I can't have a gun.
No, he was unlawful carrying.
Oh, he
Don't
was
matter. He
unlawful
still had
carrying.
access to them. One thing about taking gun away from people, people don't have access to them. He's not supposed to have them. He still had them. So that tells you right there that guns should never be taken off the streets.
Yeah, I don't. So you for guns?
Yes.
I'm definitely a gun advocate, and I think
You have to be for guns because if they take all the guns from people, you don't think they gonna have none?
well
And I don't want a government with guns and the people don't have guns. That just don't make sense.
That's why that was the part of the Second Amendment on why they armed the population so the government could never oppress the people.
Right.
But and the argument is if you take a look at places like Japan and other places, civilized Australia, countries in the world that don't have gun laws or very strict gun laws, their murder rates are down, their violent crime is down. So I think that's a yes.
But how is their government though? Because do you want to live in China or one of these countries where their government is so powerful that? I mean,
Australia and Japan is pretty.
Yeah, but Australia got 50 million animals that can kill you. So who the fuck wants to live in Australia? So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, I've been to Australia and.
I mean, it's probably nice. I'm not saying I'm just talking shit for real. But I'm saying, but usually those countries like that, their government is really.
Hell, they need guns for all the shit they got going on and with animal wise.
So
they need guns.
I don't know. I'm a gun advocate.
I'm a gun advocate. Lonnie, I know you are. Travis, what do you think? Guns, no guns.
So
guns?
y'all voting Republican coming up? Y'all gonna be Republicans this time? Y'all ain't gonna vote for Joe? Okay. That's what I like to hear.
Look at him. Oh, he got his arm out right there. What other arm?
They making him ride the thing.
I can't believe they didn't shoot him. They making him do what?
Ride. Watch they put him on the pole. They get on this bitch like a hoe.
Oh, he got both his arms. Man, I better scared that nigga gonna kick his feet out and have a gun on him. Shit. You a terrorist at this point.
They treated him like one too. They pulled out the Bin Laden guns.
That officer around that corner, and you wonder in what way they would get him down from that second floor. Does the machinery help them? Does that officer come around?
Or does somebody come up, from the front and try to go upstairs if there's any stairs left? I mean, we don't know what's left, but to try to come in that way. But as you said, they forced him out. They forced his hand. They've been able to identify where he was in the house.
And you wonder how they did that, too. You can only imagine that it was because of that robotic dog. Had maybe cornered him.
He's giving commands right here. You see that? Sorry to cut you guys off, but he's giving commands, presumably to Green. Either to surrender, give himself up, something.
See, that's U.S. Marshals. They got night vision goggles.
It's in a precarious position at this point because that's not a spot where you should be walking around.
Exactly.
If you're a roofer or have ever had a roofer come to your house, you're physically in a dangerous spot anyway. So he's shown his hands, he's receiving commands, and now let's see how they manage getting him into custody in an area that's already a little bit precarious to be doing work on.
Well, you wonder why at this point he just wouldn't come downstairs and walk out the front door with his hands up. Because he can't really walk out.
How's he going to get out of
there.
this? Is he going to jump from the second floor? I mean, they've got to get him out somehow.
Unless the house is interior is so demolished at this point that he can't make his way to the front door.
You finna see the guns pointed when they pull him out, this motherfucker.
Hard to comprehend.
You see how they read them green beans.
What is he doing? Because where is his hands at right now?
Watch him. Check it. You ain't seen this shit?
I ain't seen it.
Check him out.
And we don't know what's going on from the ground either. We don't know if they're trying to send crews in,
Watch how they pull him out
from the ground level.
Right. While he's occupied
and go up the stairs if there's stairs left, right?
But comes out with the arm.
He's
on it.
He's on it.
Oh, he's on it.
He's on the arm.
Let's go.
And you can see law enforcement has a weapon trained on him. That's the green dot right there.
Let's go.
In case anything happens, so that is definitely a rifle laser.
They will take care of business if they have to because, again,
this
guy, armed, dangerous, has shot three law enforcement deputies. Another was hit with shrapnel. They are not playing with this guy.
And certainly they had people waiting on the ground for him.
Sure.
Wow.
So after a 24-hour
them stories when that nigga on that bunk at night, so nigga, I had them whole ass laws more coming that bitch nigga up to my nigga. Who nigga pull out that big motherfucker. Nigga, what? Nigga, what gun you had? Nigga, I had that big motherfucker Rambo. Boy,
man, this is the problem. Hey man, they gotta ban GTA. They gotta ban GTA, man. This shit is fucking y'all up.
That nigga went level 5 on the ass. But man, let's get the fuck up out of here.
Man, let's go, man.
Look at now you gonna rap shit.
Hey man, thank y'all so much for tuning to the Cole and Dre podcast, man. I just woo, Taryn Green, you are an animal.
Ain't nobody gonna start a GoFundMe for Taryn?
Lonnie, y'all got a GoFundMe going for him?
Somebody got their 30,000 though.
Oh, they had a 30,000 on.
It was 45,000, I thought.
Hey, now that I'm thinking about it, Lonnie, you went to Turkey Leg Hut to celebrate today. What was you celebrating? I mean,
wow.
With the family. Yeah, you so damn. Anyway, oh man, I just thought about 30,000, and you knew exactly the amount. All right, y'all heard it first on the Cole and Dre show. Lonnie done gave his kinfolk up, man. 30,000. Hey man.
That's a cold
Tony. You did that, Lonnie? You sure?
I didn't know where it was at.
Oh, so you would have did it. You would have did it.
I'm hands off on that one,
man, let's get the fuck up.
Lonnie, you might fold under question. Hey, thank y'all very much for tuning into the Cole and Dre podcast. I'm Cole.
And this is Dre. We out.
Peace. Man,
hey,
Lonnie, you hit your kinfolk. Man, you hit that
30. Hey, Cole, boss straight, 2 mother, watch your mouth, no cap, all facts like what you talking about. Boy, listen and pay attention to what we talking about. We can show you how to make 100,000 in the drop.